If you're doing an online CELTA and you want some top tips for your teaching practice, this video is for you. I'm Jo Gakonga from elttraining.com. I've been a CELTA tutor for 20 years, and in this series of videos I asked a whole raft of my other CELTA tutor friends for their ideas, and I've got 10 videos with 10 top tips. This is number 5, and it's all about something which is often overlooked but which is actually super helpful if used well, and that's the chat box. So listen up, take some notes, and I hope it's helpful. Don't forget to give the video a like and check out my site for other videos if you like this. The chat box on Zoom or in Teams is a fantastic resource and one that you should really think about using. It enables all of the learners in your group to be involved at the same time, something that actually would be much more difficult in a face-to-face environment actually. One way to use it effectively is for warm-ups. So you could ask them a general question at the start, get them all to type their answer. Then you've got a multitude of ideas to then ask people orally for follow-up questions. So you could start with, I don't know, what did you do last night? Everybody writes down their answer. Oh, Mohammed, you went to the cinema. What did you see? And do that bit orally. You can also use the chat box to make sure that they're all following you. So if you ask concept check questions, this is a big part of the CELTA course, questions to check that they've understood what you're talking about, then you can get them all to write their answer in the chat box. So you can really get an idea of who has and who hasn't understood. Again, in a face-to-face environment, you're probably only going to be able to nominate 1 or 2, so you wouldn't know what everybody was thinking. Another top tip for this kind of thing when you want them all to answer is to ask them to type their answer, but not to post it until you tell them. So give them a minute or so and then say, right, post, and they'll all come up at the same time. This prevents the very fastest typists and maybe the faster thinkers from always being the people who get their ideas up there first. Another way of using the chat box is to use it to get answers to control practice tasks. So if you give them a gap fill task or something of that nature, you can ask them to put their answers up in the chat. Again, this way everybody gets to be involved and you can really see how many people have understood. This is also a great way to do correction. You've got their problems there in the chat box, you can address them. Another way of using the chat box is if they're doing exercises on their own, for example a reading task. Ask them when they're done, when they've finished reading, to write done in the chat box. Again, very quickly you'll then see how many people are ready to start with feedback. Just as an alternative to the chat box, sometimes a little bit more physical, you could get them to write things on a piece of paper and hold it up to the screen. That way you'll still see all of their answers. It might be a little bit more difficult to see, but it's nice as an occasional change, I think. I hope this has been helpful. Do look at my site for other useful tips for your teaching practice. Good luck with it, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.